लगातार विकास के कामों को बल दे रही है, पूरी ताकत झोंक रही है। मुझे विश्वास है हम सब साथ मिलकर राजस्थान के विकास को और भी तेज गति से आगे बढ़ाएंगे। मैं फिर एक बार आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय।
Right, Prime Minister Modi's 7th visit in 9 months right there. This is the Rajasthan buzz we're talking about. A little while back, you had Nitin Gadkari also speaking. Right now, Prime Minister speaking in Rajasthan. We're slipping into a break. Lots more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
You are watching India Today.
छोटा सा सवाल, इन सब के नाम, इन सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 कैसे हैं? नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, और अभी थोड़ा ढूंढेंगे तो और बहुत सारे मोदी निकलेंगे।
This remark made at an election rally in Karnataka ahead of 2019 Lok Sabha elections haunts Rahul Gandhi. The Gujarat High Court on Friday dismissed the Congress leader's plea for stay on his conviction and 2-year jail term for defaming the Modi community. A stay would have reversed his disqualification as an MP. The single-judge bench of Justice Hemant Prachak that delivered a 125-page judgment was scathing in nature. The court ruled that like Patels and Jains, Modis are also a community and a surname. The court held Modi community is well-defined, identifiable and suable class of people. The judge said a stay of conviction is not a rule but an exception to be resorted to in rare cases. The court cited other cases filed against Rahul Gandhi and mentioned the case by V. Savarkar's grandson for alleged defamatory statements against a revolutionary. The judge said the offence committed falls in the category of moral turpitude and added that representatives of people should be men of clear antecedents. The court said that the need of the hour is to have purity in politics. Unhappy with the High Court's verdict, Congress workers staged protests in Delhi, Patna and Chennai. The Congress says it will fight the battle both politically and legally.
If you think free, speak free, act free, you will be visited with the worst possible criminal, civil and other consequences. We have no doubt that this intersection of arrogance and infallibility shown by the government of the day and the ruling party of the day will be dealt with properly in the Supreme Court.
You are watching India Today.
With assembly polls just months away, Prime Minister Modi sounded off the poll bugle in Telangana. He launched a scathing attack on the present government led by KCR. So the government is involved in corruption and nepotism. Take a look at this special report.
अब की बार बीजेपी सरकार, अब की बार
Prime Minister Narendra Modi offering prayers at the revered Bhadrakali temple in Telangana's Warangal, the erstwhile capital of legendary Kakatiya kingdom. Before sounding the poll bugle in the state, unveiling infra projects worth 6,100 crore rupees, firing fresh salvos at the KCR government, accusing it of harboring the sole ideology of dynasty rule to further corruption and nepotism. Modi invoked the Delhi liquor scam heat on Chief Minister KCR's daughter, Kavita.
केसीआर सरकार यानी सबसे भ्रष्ट सरकार, और देखिए खेल, अब तो दिल्ली तक इनके भ्रष्टाचार के तार फैल गए हैं। आप लोगों ने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि एक दिन इस तरह परिवारवादी राजनीति के शिकंजे में हमारा तेलंगाना फंस जाएगा। परिवारवादियों को सिर्फ अपने बच्चों, अपने बेटे बेटियों के भविष्य की चिंता होती है। तेलंगाना की जनता ये सब कुछ अनुभव कर रही है। इसलिए आज तेलंगाना की आकांक्षा है, आज तेलंगाना की आशा अपेक्षा है, अब की बार बीजेपी सरकार, अब की बार
The ruling BRS boycotted the official programs of Prime Minister, claiming discrimination by the centre against the state.
ప్రధానమంత్రి గారు మాట్లాడారు. నేను అడుగుతా ఉన్నా ప్రధానమంత్రి గారిని, మీరు డబ్బులు ఇవ్వడం కాదు, డబ్బులు ఆపేది. తెలంగాణకు డబ్బులు ఇవ్వలే, మీరు అదనంగా ₹1 ఇవ్వలే. తెలంగాణకు హక్కుగా వచ్చే డబ్బులు మీరు ఆపింది ప్రధానమంత్రి గారు. నిజంగా తెలంగాణ ప్రజల మీద ప్రేమ ఉంటే, చిత్తశుద్ధి ఉంటే తెలంగాణకు రావాల్సిన డబ్బులు ఇవ్వాలని చెప్పి నేను డిమాండ్ చేస్తా ఉన్నా. అందరూ చాలా గట్టిగా భారత్ మాతా కీ.
The BJP, which recently overhauled its top leadership in Telangana, hopes to get a big boost from Prime Minister Modi's People Connect and charisma. Bureau Report, India Today.
भारत माता की
The India Today sting operation on West Bengal's murderous bomb-making factory has not only sent shockwaves across the country but has also triggered a mega political showdown between TMC and BJP. Well, the BJP has launched a virulent attack on TMC. The expose is also seen as a big setback for the TMC, especially with the panchayat polls. Take a look.
A special investigation that has exploded across India's political landscape. Bengal's murderous bomb-making cottage industry revealed up close for the first time. Bombs of Bengal, a sting operation that has blown apart the very idea of elections being free, fair and peaceful. As India tries to stomach the naked reality of this cynical, bloodthirsty enterprise, as revealed in our special investigation, the shockwaves are being felt across Bengal, with Mamata Banerjee's government forced to react.
Well, you see, this is ever seen. I do not know where it is sold. But I think that there are so many, hundreds of incidents where police government, state police has arrested and recovered bombs also, and still the same process is going on throughout the state.
Bengal's worst kept secret, unmasked and in the flesh for the first time on television, puts into high definition the dark world of bomb makers that fuel the fatal side of Bengal elections, with implications for the Trinamool as well as the opposition. The BJP, which has made the spate of bomb attacks a national campaign issue to call attention, sees the sting operation as an affirmation of claims made ever since the spurt in post-poll violence in 2021.
All these 12 years, we haven't seen a single industry coming to West Bengal. But there is one industry which is flourishing, and that is the bomb industry. From where are these bombs coming, and why are these bombs coming? We realized that probably panchayat vote will be declared. And as we thought, panchayat vote got declared. Until today, during this tenure, 18 people have lost their lives.
Devastation wrought by the bombs we've revealed in our sting operation have punctuated Bengal's panchayat election. With the road to 2024 now open and buzzing, will the numbing revelations in this investigation bring to an end this dastardly industry? Or do bigger political stakes only mean bigger potential profits for the bomb makers of Bengal. India Today will continue to report. Bureau Report, India Today.
Pawar versus Pawar war now. NCP President Sharad Pawar responded to Ajit Pawar's retirement barb, saying he can still work at 82 as party workers and requested him to keep going. Sharad Pawar asserted that he was not old yet and echoed former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee's words, saying, "Na tired hoon, na retired hoon." Hitting back at Sharad Pawar, rebel NCP leader Chhagan Bhujbal said that if he's not tired, then we should also take the energy from him.
हम क्या कहें, अगर घर का लड़का उनको बोल रहा है तो मैं उसमें क्या बोल सकता हूँ। मैं तो बोलूँगा भाई ठीक है, मेरी शुभकामनाएं, आप जो है बिल्कुल जवान हो, चलो ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, हम भी आपसे जो है ऊर्जा लेंगे।
नितांत अंदरूनी मामला है उनका, अंदरूनी मामला क्या, पारिवारिक मामला है। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो कुछ परिस्थिति एनसीपी में इससे पूर्व शिवसेना में हुई है, उसका मूल कारण यह है कि हमारे यहाँ पार्टी को परिवार माना जाता है और वो लोग परिवार को पार्टी मानने लगते हैं। इस कारण यह परिस्थितियां उत्पन्न होती हैं।
NCP Chief Sharad Pawar had an exclusive conversation with India Today after NCP split. Listen in.
वो तो कह रहे हैं कि आपको तो रिटायर हो जाना चाहिए था, 83 साल की, आप रुक जाइए। अभी कितनी बार आपको समझाया गया। सुप्रिया ने आपसे बात की, वो आपने कहा, वो सुप्रिया सुले ने उनको कहा कि देखिए वो तो सुनने को तैयार नहीं है। 83 इयर्स में भी आप इस तरीके से बाहर निकल रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं, आपको रिटायर हो जाना चाहिए। बोल
काहे के लिए रिटायर ना हो, मैं काम कर सकता हूँ, काम करने की उम्मीद है, काम करने की ताकत है, तो क्यों? मैंने तय किया था रिटायर होने का, तब पूरी पार्टी मेरे ऊपर फैसला लाने के लिए या फिर विद्रोह।
अब 2 तारीख की घटना की बात कर रहे हैं, 2 मई की बात कर रहे हैं।
ये याद नहीं मुझे, पूरी पार्टी जगह जगह पर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, तहसील में रोने लगे लोग, इतना दबाव मेरे ऊपर डाला कि मत छोड़ो। तो मुझे अल्टीमेटली लोगों का कहना एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ा और मैंने काम करना शुरू किया। अभी आज मुझे कोई कहता है कि आप रिटायर हो, तो जब पूरी पार्टी कहती है कि आप काम करो, तो मैं क्यों काम करना शुरू? और लोगों में जाकर लोगों के जो इश्यूज है वो उठाकर इसमें कोई रास्ता निकलने के लिए कोशिश करना है, कोई गलत काम है। ये क्या पोजीशन अथॉरिटी होगी एज अ पार्टी, मगर ये कोई मिनिस्टरशिप नहीं है, ये कोई दूसरी ऐसी पोजीशन नहीं है कि जिससे आपको बहुत कुछ अधिकार मिलता है। ये खाली पार्टी की जिम्मेदारी पार्टी संगठन की है, और संगठन में काम करना कोई गलत बात नहीं। आज मेरा एज वगैरह ये निकलने की क्या आवश्यकता है, और मेरा एज कितना है और कौन से एज पर मैंने रुकना चाहिए, या और लोगों ने मुझे कहना, ये डिसीजन मेरा हो सकता है।
Unrestricted by any authorities, the Khalistani groups across the United States, Canada and the United Kingdom are having a free run. What has surfaced is a poster promoting a Khalistan Kill India rally that is to be held today. While the controversial Kill India poster from Khalistani group has circulated online so far, this was the first instance of a physical version appearing. Remember, these Kill India posters in Canada paint a target on top Indian diplomats. Notoriously soft on Khalistani terrorists, Canada has failed to take action against Khalistanis. On the contrary, Canadian Prime Minister has gone on to accuse India of false remarks, asserting that Canada takes every kind of threat very seriously. The fine words and sentiments apart, it's a fact that Canada has tolerated Khalistan provocations against India for a very long time now. In a strongly worded message to foreign governments, the MEA said that space should not be given to those advocating violence or legitimizing terrorism in the name of freedom of expression.
Canada has always taken extremely seriously violence and threats of violence. We've always taken serious action against terrorism, and we always will. We have an extremely diverse country, and freedom of expression is something that we have, but we will always make sure that we are pushing back against violence and extremism in all its forms.
Let me make the larger point that the issue is not about freedom of expression, but its misuse for advocating violence, for propagating separatism, and for legitimizing terrorism.
Sunil Chhetri and coach Igor ensured that Team India got hands on a record-extending 9th SAFF Cup, and the coach feels Chhetri has been pivotal to the team's success over the years. He talks about the change in the team's style of play and much more with my colleague Nikhil Nas.
See the team, whether it's technically or tactically, they're playing like a cohesive unit. That's rarely been seen in Indian football. What is the secret sauce? What have you done to ensure that they look like this on the football pitch?
Simple, hard work, repeating the very same or similar drills day by day, making sure that fitness conditioning level is up to the perfect level, which you could clearly notice. Not many teams can play high press football throughout 90 or 120 minutes. Normally at the highest intensity of football game in the world, where we can see in Premier League and all that, which is a different level. Let's make sure we understand that. The high press can go on for mostly 60 minutes, no more than that. Now for Asian level of football, if we speak about, we are ready to do that and repeat throughout 9 games in 1 month for 120 minutes, without having cramps, without facing problems of injuries, and having such a quick recovery after the game we play with extra time and penalty shootout, which is obviously something great. And I mean, I don't mind trophies. It's really nice to win trophies, but what's the more important thing about this Indian team at the moment is the way they perform and fight for each other on the pitch, which is now very clear that there is an enormous amount of passion in the football we play.
I'm just coming back to that fitness issue, and one player that I'm going to talk about there is Sunil Chhetri. I mean, he was outstanding during both tournaments that we've seen in Intercontinental as well as SAF. Is it fair to say that while his biological age may be 39, almost, will be 40 in a year's time, his physical age is much younger because he looks at par in terms of speed with all the other youngsters?
Absolutely. His physical age is from 27 to 29. You see, he's still a very young player. When we measure biological and physical age, I'm 56 now. I have a body of 40-year-old. Sunil is 10 years younger with his body and with his regime in life, with his professionalism, commitment, and everything. And while he's like that, we can count with him for another 4 or 5 years. From the very beginning, the most raised question was who after Sunil. Yes. And I was never looking from that point. I was always trying to do everything to keep him alive with us. Never mind the problems in the club, not playing different positions, never mind, because get all the foreign strikers in ISL. He's much better than any of them. Yeah. With his record, with his years, with his fitness condition, just name one discipline. He's far better than any of them. But he still, for many years back, doesn't play as a center forward in his own club. That's something I cannot understand.
That's a wrap from me. Chaiti Narula on India Today. Don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or download our app. I'm seeing you moments from now with the top headlines, so stay with us.
You are watching India Today.
The Green India Challenge, an initiative to raise Telangana's green cover, is creating records. TRS MP Joginapalli Santosh Kumar, who launched the initiative in July 2018, has found a place in the Limca Book of Records for getting maximum trees planted in an hour, a task the MP's Green Drive executed in 2021. The Green India Challenge aims to increase Telangana's forest cover from 24% to 33%.
This is my 6th year, 5 years completed, and I can proudly say I've with this initiation, with this initiative, I can say we have planted 17.5 crore plants till now.
Over the last 5 years, many celebrities have joined the Green India Challenge. Amitabh Bachchan, Amir Khan, Sanjay Dutt, Salman Khan, Ajay Devgan, Kangana Ranaut, the Oscar-winning RRR team are among the film stars who extended support to the cause. Santosh Kumar wants the Green India Challenge to be a bigger people's movement.
Main motto of this Green India Challenge is to aware people how important is plantation, how important is this environment, how it is badly affecting our environment. So I just want to make everybody, think everybody about plantation.
The Green India Challenge, with the motto of Hara Hai To Bhara Hai, does not confine itself to just cities or villages. It also covers the Kisara Reserve Forest, the Karipalli Reserve Forest and the Mumbapur Nallaveli Reserve Forest. Bureau Report, India Today.
Watching India Today.
Very good evening and thank you for being with us on India Today. I'm Chaiti Narula joining you with all the top stories. Let's begin with the headlines first. Death toll mounts to 13 amidst violence during panchayat polls in Bengal. TMC pins blame on centre. Congress moves Calcutta High Court. Prime Minister Modi storms battleground Telangana, tears into Chief Minister KCR and claims his family drowning in scams worth crores of rupees. NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar speaks to India Today for the first time since Mahapawar quake. Response to nephew Ajit Sage taunt, says, I'm neither tired nor retired.
मैंने 1, 2, 3 बार देखी है सहने के लिए रास्ता निकालना है।
Heavy rainfall lashes Delhi NCR, roads waterlogged, traffic gridlock on highways, shops inundated. Four Rafale jets reach France for Bastille Day celebrations. Rafales to join fly past over Parisian skies. Prime Minister Modi to attend as guest of honor. Home Minister Amit Shah takes stock of situation in Bengal on Bengal violence. He and JP Nadda speak to Bengal BJP leaders. That's the breaking news coming in. Nadda says there's a murder of democracy in West Bengal. Latest coming in. Amidst the kind of violence you see and a lot of deaths, the death toll mounting in Bengal, this is the big story that is coming in of Home Minister taking stock of the situation in Bengal, the Bengal violence which is happening on the back of the panchayat polls. Home Minister Shah and JP Nadda have spoken to the BJP leaders right there. You do know already the death toll has mounted to 13 in Bengal. Suryagini is now joining us. Suryagini, what is the situation at the moment? And if you could tell us the discussion that was conducted by Amit Shah and JP Nadda with the BJP workers right there in Bengal.
Well, Chaiti, to put it in a very, in a short manner, it's a very dynamic situation. Every 10 minutes the situation changes. If you have seen peace and a lot of stability for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or let's say half an hour, it does not mean that it will continue like that. Sadly, that is what we have seen from various parts of the state since today morning. Now, coming back to your question, Chaiti, it's not only JP Nadda who spoke to Shukanto Majumdar, but Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, has also spoken to Shukanto Majumdar, who is the BJP state president, on the violence reports that has surfaced. Now, Shukanto Majumdar, he will compile a report and he will send it to JP Nadda and Amit Shah and on the various reports of violence that has happened in ever since today morning. Chaiti.
Right, stay on with us, Suryagini. The voting for crucial West Bengal Panchayat elections was marred. It was marred with widespread violence. Several incidents of violence and arson were reported in the state. As many as 8 people were killed in election-related violence. Here is a detailed report. Let's get you that report in moments from now, but take a look at the visuals on your screens right now as far as the Panchayat polls are concerned and the kind of vandalism that is going on in West Bengal. And as Suryagini was just pointing out, every 10 minutes the situation also is changing. Suryagini is joining us while we bring you that particular report with the complete ground report. Let's hear in from Suryagini on the ground situation. All right, I'm being told Ravi Shankar Prasad is speaking live. We'll have to cut across to it.
राष्ट्रीय जागरण का केंद्र था, सुभाष चंद्र बोस का बंगाल, गुरुदेव रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर का बंगाल, ईश्वरचंद्र विद्यासागर का बंगाल। कोई चुनाव होगी तो लाश गिरना जरूरी है क्या? और ममता जी, मुझे आपसे एक सवाल पूछना है कि पहले बिहार सहित बाकी प्रदेशों में भी बहुत लाशें गिरती थी, अब तो चुनाव आयोग की सख्ती के कारण वो काफी कम हो गया है। आपके यहां भी लोकसभा के चुनाव होते हैं तो चुनाव आयोग की सख्ती के कारण हिंसा थोड़ी कम होती है, लेकिन जब आपकी सरकार ग्राम पंचायत का चुनाव करवा रही है तो क्या हो रहा है और कितने लोग मारे जाएंगे, क्यों मारे जाएंगे? सेंट्रल फोर्सेस को भी कायदे से काम नहीं करने दिया जा रहा है, कोई सहयोग नहीं मिल रहा है जमीन पर। ममता जी की पुलिस एक प्रकार से पॉलिटिकल आउटफिट के रूप में काम करती है, क्योंकि मुझे मालूम है कि जो कुछ ईमानदार प्रभावी पुलिस वाले हैं उनको उचित प्रोत्साहन नहीं मिलता या काम करने नहीं दिया जाता। ममता जी, आपकी पार्टी के लोग भी मारे जा रहे हैं ना, क्योंकि आपके भी पार्टी के गुटों में काफी संघर्ष है, ऐसा हमें बताया गया है और ये जमीनी खबर भी है। लेकिन इस हिंसा के तांडव को कब रोकेंगे आप? इट इज वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट। बीजेपी कंडेम्स आउटराइट दिस रेकलेस वायलेंस इन बंगाल इन द ग्राम पंचायत इलेक्शन। भारतीय जनता पार्टी आज के चुनाव में इस हिंसा के तांडव की भर्त्सना करती है। एक दूसरी महत्वपूर्ण बात हमें कहनी है कि जब पूरे देश में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वोटिंग हो रही है तो ममता जी, आप बैलेट बॉक्स ले आई, आपके अंडर में जो चुनाव करवा रहे हैं, आप लोग के दबाव में बैलेट बॉक्स फिर आ गया। जो बैलेट बॉक्स अतीत हो गया था, बटन दबाइए इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वोटिंग मशीन पर, आपकी वोटिंग रिकॉर्ड होगी। अब आप बैलेट बॉक्स ले आई और फिर वही पुरानी परंपरा कि बैलेट बॉक्स को छीना, उठा के कहीं तालाब में फेंक दिया, किसी बैलेट बॉक्स में इंक डाल दिया ताकि जिसको जितने वोट मिले सब समाप्त हो जाए। ममता जी, आपकी सरकार के लोकतांत्रिक कमिटमेंट का टेस्ट हो रहा है। ममता जी, the very democratic credentials of your government is under serious test. किस बात पर आप नरेंद्र मोदी के खिलाफ आरोप लगाती हैं? विपक्षी दलों को एक करने की बात करती हैं कि लोकतंत्र का।
The voting for the crucial West Bengal panchayat elections was marred with widespread violence. Several incidents of violence and arson were reported in the state. As many as 8 people were killed in election-related violence in West Bengal. Let's bring you a detailed report now.
Series of political murders, arson attacks, large-scale
इसके बिल्कुल उलट रहे हैं। हम दिल्ली से योजनाएं यहां राजस्थान में भेजते हैं, लेकिन यहां जयपुर में कांग्रेस का पंजा उस पर झपटा मार देता है। कांग्रेस को राजस्थान के लोगों की परेशानी से, आपकी दिक्कतों से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। अब आप देखिए, घर घर पीने का साफ पानी पहुंचाने की भाजपा सरकार की योजना से भी अब कांग्रेस सरकार को परेशानी है। जिस राजस्थान को जल जीवन मिशन में सबसे टॉप पर होना चाहिए था, वो सबसे धीमा करने वाले राज्यों की लिस्ट में शामिल है। आज देश के 130 से ज्यादा जिले ऐसे हैं जहां 100% घरों में नल से जल पहुंचा है। इनमें से पूरे देश को 130 जिले और इसमें से राजस्थान का एक भी जिला नहीं है। अब आप मुझे बताइए, क्या राजस्थान के लोगों ने कोई गुनाह किया है क्या? किस बात की सजा दे रहे हो? क्या राजस्थान के लोगों ने कोई गलती की है क्या? क्या आपको नल से जल मिलना चाहिए, नहीं मिलना चाहिए? आपके घरों में पानी आना चाहिए कि नहीं आना चाहिए? देश के 130 जिलों में हो रहा है, आपका एक जिला तो होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए था? साथियों, गलती राजस्थान के लोगों की नहीं, गलती यहां की कांग्रेस सरकार की है। कांग्रेस सरकार ने 4 सालों में राजस्थान का बहुत नुकसान किया है और ये बात कांग्रेस के नेता भी अच्छी तरह जानते हैं। राजस्थान में कांग्रेस की हार इतनी सुनिश्चित है कि यहां की सरकार अभी से बाय बाय मोड में आ गई है। मुझे पता चला है कि कुछ मंत्री विधायक तो अभी से अपने सरकारी बंगले खाली करके अपने खुद के घरों में शिफ्ट होने लगे हैं। अपनी हार पर इतना भरोसा सिर्फ कांग्रेस के नेता ही कर सकते हैं। साथियों, पुरानी कहावत है कि दिया बुझने से पहले जोर से लपलपाता है। अपनी हार के डर से कांग्रेस भी ऐसा ही कर रही है। इसके लिए वो राजस्थान के लोगों को गुमराह करने पर उतर आई है। लेकिन भाइयों बहनों, आपको याद रखना है, कांग्रेस का एक ही मतलब है। कांग्रेस मतलब, साथियों, आपका प्यार सर आंखों पर, आप आगे आने की कोशिश मत कीजिए। आपका प्यार मेरे सर आंखों पर। साथियों, कांग्रेस का मतलब है लूट की दुकान, झूठ का बाजार। लूट की दुकान, झूठ का बाजार, जो ये इन दिनों बड़े बड़े वायदे किए जा रहे हैं, उसमें लूट के इरादे और झूठ के पिटारे के सिवा और कुछ नहीं है। साथियों, कांग्रेस की झूठ और छलावे की राजनीति का शिकार सबसे ज्यादा राजस्थान का किसान हुआ है। आप मुझे बताइए, पिछले चुनाव में कांग्रेस ने किसानों का कर्ज माफ करने का वादा किया था। कांग्रेस ने वादा किया था। इनके नेता ने 10 दिन के भीतर भीतर कर्ज माफी की कसम खाई थी। क्या किसानों का कर्ज माफ हुआ? 10 दिन, 10 महीने और अब 4 साल कर्ज माफ हुआ क्या? किसानों को कुछ मिला क्या? यहां के किसान इतनी बड़ी मात्रा में बाजरा उत्पादन करते हैं। हमने मोटे अनाजों को श्री अन्न के तौर पर प्रमोट किया, दुनिया में पहुंचाने का बीड़ा उठाया है। बाजरा पड़ोस के हरियाणा में 2350 रुपये प्रति क्विंटल बिका, 2350 रुपया प्रति क्विंटल, और ज्यादा दूर नहीं हरियाणा में। और यहां राजस्थान में वही बाजरा किसान 1300 रुपये में बेचने को मजबूर हो गया। हमने राजस्थान के किसानों के लिए नर्मदा का पानी पहुंचाया। इन्होंने इसे रोकने में भी कोई कसम नहीं छोड़ी। किसानों से यही नफरत कांग्रेस की फितरत है, यही इनकी हकीकत है। साथियों, विकास के लिए ये जरूरी होता है कि सरकार ईमानदार भी हो और सरकार स्थिर भी हो। आज दुनिया में हिंदुस्तान का सम्मान बढ़ा है क्योंकि देश में आज एक स्थिर सरकार है। आपने स्थिर सरकार बना करके मुझे काम करने का मौका दिया है। जिन जिन प्रदेशों ने लगातार स्थिर सरकारों को चुना है, डबल इंजन सरकारों को चुना है, वहां प्रदेश भी तेजी से विकास कर रहे हैं। लेकिन राजस्थान में जब से कांग्रेस सरकार आई है, इन्होंने क्या किया? 4 साल से पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी और सरकार बस आपस में लड़ रही है। हर कोई एक दूसरे की टांग खींच रहा है। अपने अपने गुट को मजबूत बनाने के लिए खुलेआम सौदेबाजी हो रही है। एक खेमे के विधायकों को ट्रांसफर, पोस्टिंग और लूट की खुली छूट मिली हुई है ताकि वो दूसरे गुट में भाग न जाए। ये लड़ाई केवल खेमों तक ही नहीं है।
We're slipping to a short commercial break. When we return, heavy rainfall continues to cause mayhem across North India, with many cities reporting waterlogging.
You are watching India Today.
I don't read the news. I read between the lines to tell you the true version of events. The true story of our times.
To document grief, the toughest assignment for any journalist to be.
From those who matter.
Women politicians going to stick up for each other.
Of those who should matter. I document the truth. I don't distort the truth. I don't glamorize the truth. I don't gloss over the truth.
The ghosts of India's contentious medieval history have come knocking again.
I hustle for the truth. On the ground, in the newsroom, in the studio. I don't try to grab eyeballs.
I inform you to make you see the point.
To the point with Preeti Chaudhary. At these times, only on India Today.
There are reports that in the upcoming GST Council meeting, the Council is likely to define MUVs and SUVs for a levy of 22% cess over and above the 28% GST rate. So what is your reaction on that?
No, we are already, apart from GST, in any SUV or MUV, we are taxed between 48 to 49%. So
Right.
that is there. I don't think there is any reduction would be there on that front. We have been asking for GST reduction only on two-wheelers, which command GST of present GST of 28%, which we are asking that it should be reduced to 18%, because that's the only segment which has not yet revived from the pre-COVID level, which is
Right.
still underperforming compared to pre-COVID level.
When it comes to rural India or the Bharat, the real Bharat, that really doesn't venture into premium motorcycles. They venture into the entry-level motorcycles. But that is also not showing good growth. So why is it that the rural Bharat is not buying a two-wheeler? Because small states usually they have two-wheelers. So is there a transition towards EVs, towards scooties, or motorcycles is just not the plan to buy motorcycles is on hold?
So EV, I don't. There is no transition. In fact, last month the FAME subsidies were rolled out, and we could see almost price increment in EV two-wheeler space by almost 15 to 20%. and there was a drop of retail in EV space by almost 56%. So that's a huge drop, and I don't think there's no kind of transition to EV vehicle from ICE vehicle in the rural market. So I think what exactly is the cause is the financial distress.
You are watching India Today.
A fresh spell of rain drenched Delhi NCR on Saturday, bringing much needed relief to residents from the scorching heat and humidity for sure. But the Met Department has issued an orange alert for Delhi. More showers are expected. The early morning rain has already caused inconvenience for daily commuters. The streets of national capital witness heavy waterlogging in ITO, Pragati Maidan and Minto Road flyover. Traffic snarls were also reporting exposing the bad infrastructure in the national capital. According to the 7-day forecast, showers will continue in Delhi throughout this week.
Delhi is one of the most upmarket locations. This is Connaught Place, and you can see that what it has turned into with just a few hours of rain. This points to the fact that Delhi's drainage system continues to be not up to the mark, leaving even the most posh localities almost submerged. This is Connaught Place where I'm standing right now. You can see waterlogging is one of the major issues that is creating slow traffic movement, and as we talk, multiple other regions have also been submerged with water, especially places like Minto Bridge. The Delhi police has already alerted the traffic police on work, and they have halted traffic movement to ensure that there's no untoward incident that is reported. And as we talk, it's a weekend, on a busy weekend, busy Saturday. People have stepped out from their houses, but this is the visual that you see. People are not being able to get down from their cars, and this is Delhi's Connaught Place as we talk continues to be waterlogged with just a few hours of rain. With video journalist Alok Das, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
With that, it's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, on this bulletin. Thank you for watching India Today. Don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or download our app. Coming up next is the lifestyle edit, serenity and style. Stay with us.
You are watching India Today.
Do you see consolidation of the electric vehicle industry? Because there are nearly about 350 plus companies in the EV space manufacturing or vendor supplying. So do you see a consolidation of only good amount of players who are manufacturing good products stay in the market, and of course the companies who are actually not, who are relying on the FAME subsidy are weeded out?
I think you're already seeing that people who have not focused on innovation and have not focused on technology and engineering, you're already seeing a lot of them folding up. In fact, a lot of smaller players who were just doing assembly of products right here in India and were not following the norms are obviously do not exist anymore. So I would not say that consolidation or not, I don't know. But all I know is that people who can focus on engineering and innovation will be able to survive because that allows them to build products at a cost which consumers can afford. Otherwise, if you are dependent upon the government subsidies, then there is no way out in terms of the cost that you will be able to offer to the consumers. And whoever is able to do that will obviously survive. We had this focus and we started this journey 1.5-2 years back, even before any one of us were thinking about FAME subsidies. We were prepared for it, and we are going to be prepared for it in the future also. In fact, just this month when we launch S1 Air, which is our most anticipated product, which we believe is going to truly change the nature of the industry and increase the penetration of EVs multifold. I think is going to be a game-changing and disruptive moment at the price that we are launching it, and the kind of product that we are launching is all been possible because of our continuous engineering efforts through the last 1.5-2 years. So I think whoever continues to do so, consumers are out there to buy EVs. And in fact, after this month, you will see in July, August, and the quarter next, the curve of EV adoption is going to be exponential and primarily led by us because of the products that we are going to launch this month, and of course on our annual launch day on August 15.
IIT Delhi tops the chart when it comes to best government engineering colleges in the country, while BITS Pilani is the topper for private engineering colleges. Among the top 50 institutions in the world for engineering and technology education as per the QS World University Rankings by subject 2023, IIT Delhi has kept its game razor sharp by finding the perfect sync between industry-oriented innovation and pure research fundamentals. Set up in 1961, IIT Delhi has always believed in inculcating a strong entrepreneurial mindset in its students and training them to think out of the box. This is what has enabled the institute to become an education brand known around the world, incubating the best minds and putting them out in time to harvest all technology-led revolutions of recent decades. Department of Architecture and Planning of IIT Roorkee retains its top position for architecture, and so does School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, at second post. Vijayawada SPA, however, moved a step forward to third position from number 4 in 2022. The Department of Architecture and Planning in IIT Roorkee was set up in 1956 and is one of the oldest to offer the Bachelor's of Architecture degree in the country. The department currently has 164 students doing Bachelor's of Architecture, 50 in the Master's program, and 117 students carrying out doctoral research. Backed by strong institutional support, a highly skilled faculty, and a student community known for their creativity, the entire ecosystem is now geared to adapt to the latest advances in technology.
welcome to this weekend's special episode, Lifestyle Edits, Style and Serenity. I'm Chaiti Narula and I'm here at the Discover Collection Club in the National Capital. It's a private, members-only collective for the who's who of the country, and I'm walking around their art box, and Jogen Chaudhary has just got my attention right now, so I've set the frame over here. But when we're talking about art, couture is a form of art. The Paris Couture Week just got wound up, and we're bringing you all the latest when it comes to collection of Schiaparelli, which had a fair bit of shock factor. There was Dior that stuck to its brand ethos. There was Chanel that kept it simple and sophisticated, very Chanel-like. There's also Thom Browne, which was a really interesting, dreamy showcase. So let's bring you a roundup of all of these, and don't you forget Rahul Mishra and Gaurav Gupta, the crown jewels of India, but more on them in a while from now. First, take a look at all the action. And the artist. Schiaparelli's Fall Winter had a lot of shock factor, unexpected lines, if the past is anything to go by. But this time it was beyond the shock factor into actual wearable art, as they would like to call it. This is wearable art according to Schiaparelli at the Haute Couture Week in Paris. Mirrored mosaic dresses, hand-painted bodies, and a black mohair tree gown. The runway was not short of drama. Cardi B was spotted in the front row in a theatrical work of couture. Now to Chanel and Versace in Viad. The showcase in front of the iconic Eiffel Tower was on the lines of Chanel's brand speak, sophisticated and simple. Thom Browne's new collection evoked dreamy vibe overall. Birds as hats, towering heels dressed with bells, and Grace Elizabeth closing the show. The entire showcase was orchestrated, directed, put together to create this dreamy representation of couture and out-of-the-box creativity. Dior kept the collection close to its brand ethos. This time, the inspiration came from goddesses and feminine figures of antiquity. In a 180-degree turn, rather than sending models out in gowns, Victor and Rolf opted to transition its signatures into one-piece bathing suits and bikinis for its fall 2023 Haute Couture collection. So hello women, couture swimwear is here. Plus, one could not miss their shock factor, like this, and this, and even this. Happy 30th anniversary, Victor and Rolf. Take a bow, or should we say bow. Laetitia Casta walked the runway at Julien Dosena's Jean-Paul Gaultier show. Julien Dosena married the world of Paco Rabanne and Jean-Paul Gaultier as the house guest designer for Fall-Winter collection. And there you go, Cardi B at it again. Drama is what she brought to the front row for many shows. Her Jean-Paul Gaultier outfit consisted of an off-white catsuit covered in dark blue tattoo-like print featuring imagery of suns, chains, hands, and various natural landscapes. The naughty supermodels, Natasha Polly, Saskia Debro, Liu Wen, Amber Valletta, and many others were reunited for the much-trolled Balenciaga show. The internet went in a tizzy, trolling Balenciaga and calling Demna a pedophile too. standout by Devna Gvasalia was the chrome-plated 3D printer armor dress that reportedly took 10 months to make. Again, see Cardi B leave for the front row of the Balenciaga show. She's on some roll there. And Giorgio Armani declared a red bride. Seductive, glossy, a bloom of red roses, veils. Quite the West goes East romanticism. Pierpaolo Piccioli showcased at Chateau de Chantilly outside Paris to showcase Maison Valentino at Haute Couture Week. The show opened with model Kaiya, who is Cindy Crawford's daughter, in a white shirt, left unbuttoned down to the midriff and worn with loose jeans. Models where they may slowly down a vast stone staircase and around a fountain in Castle's formal garden to the melancholic voice of art pop singer Anhoni. Fendi unveiled jewelry. The collection closed the Haute Couture Week with a show that saw much drama and high jewelry. Lifestyle Bureau, India Today. I'm walking you through this beautiful, serene and classy venue, which has become a bit of a spot where the who's who of the country are hobnobbing these days. And it's also become a gateway to international luxury brands into India, or rather it is slowly becoming that. Now, talking about international luxury, don't forget an Indian luxury label that has made its mark internationally, Rahul Mishra. He can be truly called the crown jewel of Indian couture. I actually got a sneak peek of his collection, which is titled Hum Log, or We the People. And what an ode to the craftsmanship of India and his own artisans that he has given through this collection, which also saw a fair amount of figuratives for the first time, married with the Rahul Mishra style of botanicals as well. Take a look. I got a sneak peek, and here is what transpired at his showcase in Paris.
The world we try to bridge together with his reality. So how the reality and imagination, they kind of coexist together.
Rahul Mishra showcased We the People at Haute Couture Week in Paris. In fact, we had an exclusive preview to the collection even before it was showcased to the world. This was an ode to his craftsmen, his karigars, his creators, who he equated with his idea of God. And that was beautiful. The collection leans on an almost monochromatic palette with a few pieces of color, well thought out to tell a story. We saw figuratives for the first time. He showed us the artworks that he had sketched himself. The embroidery done on the outfits was that of the same karigars who made them, juxtaposed with where their mind wanders when in a meditative state of creation. Look at these embroidered tigers, for instance, jumping out of the carts. As old and repetitive it now sounds, he works like an artist. The latest work has figuratives and yet maintains the signature Rahul Mishra botanicals.
Tiger walks in here, creates clear ripples of the water, and at the same time, this embroiderer is kind of creating the flower on the cart, and Tiger is walking in as if like that is how, and everything was intentionally created in a very sketchy kind of feel.
The handshake with the karigar on the runway at the start of the show speaks of the story of his collection.
You know, top portion is complete silver.
Yeah.
And this beyond this point is all black and white. So even where she's sitting, again, her actually that fantasy kind of world also has got, as if like, you know, the idea needs to have complete clarity. Her dupatta becomes like that, and this entire thing becomes like a flower petal. And next to it, when you see a tailor, she's tailoring it. you see a cutter master who's cutting it. So how the community of people, how everybody together create this dress. So somehow in capturing the process of creation itself onto a piece like this.
His idea and representation of India is clear. We the people, hum log. That is his idea, and he explains.
We started doing a lot more conversation with all the people who we work with. And we started understanding what are the dreams, what is happening, and how they're enjoying being here, because most of the people who have been working with the brand have been working since the time brand started.
Yeah.
So that is also a beautiful factor, like how they feel it's like family.
It's quite interesting to know that the monochromatic palette enables the storytelling way better than busy colors. And that was his choice. In a world where couturiers start creating shock factors to either stand out or as a clever brand and PR building exercise, Rahul Mishra stays true to his core. His work speaks for itself. Up next for Rahul Mishra is the India Couture Week back in India with the FTCI. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.
What I particularly love about this private ultra luxury club is that art, fashion, beauty, wellness, networking, all of it just comes together. And what caught my attention right now was this work of the modern progressive master, Maqbool Fazal Hussain. We're now going to be taking you through another showcase from the Paris Couture Week, and that is of Gaurav Gupta. Gaurav Gupta, truly 2023 has been his year. All the best to him, and he is now truly another crown jewel from India. And here is what Gaurav Gupta's showcase was all about.
Gaurav Gupta's second haute couture outing in Paris. It's no small feat. The collection titled Hiranyagarbha was based on ancient Vedic philosophy.
Hiranyagarbha is basically where everything got started. For me, it's something which is even before the Big Bang, literally. So it's the starting of creation. Hiranya is also another name for Brahma. So it's about creation. So what we have done is, and then in that sense, this subliminal inspiration of a Vedic Indian concept has translated into something very glittery in some senses, which is full of crystals. There's some which are fluid forms which look like DNA and creations.
Cultural couture is his signature. This collection too had his signature underlined. The runway saw volume. It saw drama. The focus was on silhouettes and the palettes. Whites, greens, hues of greens, ivory, deep browns.
So there's some structures which are hooded, which kind of gives a feeling of a womb and of birth, or something which is enveloped or taking birth out of it. So there is a whole, and then I think green as a color represents a lot of creation to me, in the sense of all trees, and it's the most soothing color. And almost, I think even from the electric green, where it's actually neon, it has a very magic fireflies and bees and light and creation feeling to it, and that's why there's a neon green in the collection. And then there is it's almost like a gem-like emerald which is there, which is very which just represents the vastness of earth and greenery. Very intense Indian techniques. Like this time we've gone really intense on Zardozi, on some of our olive color outfits. This is almost like a jet black olive in the collection. And what we are showcasing is basically a new fantasy couture world from India to the globe.
Cardi B, who's been on a bit of a roll at the Haute Couture Week, wore Gaurav Gupta for the third time, and this time around was spotted in a green Gaurav Gupta outfit and a hood. Fall-Winter 2023 saw a different Gaurav Gupta collection, where he challenged his own ways but retained the design speed. We even saw a two-piece off-shoulder cords and a lemon green high-shoulder blazer. Gaurav Gupta indeed is now the inner sanctum of haute couture globally. In New Delhi with Riya Modi, Chethi Narula for India Today.
The world of wellness has seen a paradigm shift in India. Who would have imagined a couple of years ago to have Turkish hammam baths even available in India? And while we've spoken to you a lot about Turkish hammams and its benefits as well, the other wellness routine that caught our attention and was really a game changer in many ways for sexual wellness and sexual well-being was Emsella, or the Kegel throne. It's taken the world of wellness by a pleasant surprise for women who've been suffering for many, many years after pregnancy, or low libido, or urinary incontinence, or bladder control issues, and women silently suffer. This machine really can give you 11,200 contractions in a span of almost 28 minutes, something that a human body cannot otherwise achieve. And here is my review of the machine.
A breakthrough FDA-approved technology now enables you to do 11,200 pelvic contractions in a span of just 28 minutes. Something that a human body just cannot otherwise achieve. Enter Emsella, and the world of wellness and fitness offers hope to women with weak pelvic floor muscles, either due to aging, childbirth, menopause, or even men who face sexual issues.
I tried 6 sessions of Emsella, which is the only FDA-approved machine. It's popularly called as Kegel throne. From 6 sessions before to today, I'm here to assess what my pelvic floor looks like and how well it is strengthened.
Any men or women who are looking for pelvic floor strengthening at any age above the age of 18, this is an ideal device. Emsella strengthens the pelvic floor, treats urinary incontinence, and improves intimate wellness. How important it is for them to maintain their Kegel floor? What happens if they don't look after it?
Often the gynecologist says that you should do Kegel exercises. Basically, Kegel is nothing but a pelvic floor muscle exercise, and we need to do a lot of these exercises to get the strength of our pelvic floor back, because see, the pelvic floor is like a hammer, and the bladder as well as the urinary as well as the uterus is sitting on it. Emsella helps in sexual health in both men and women. Okay, it actually improves the pleasure during the sexual activity. It improves the erection. It improves the tightness of the vagina. It improves the orgasm. So all in all, it improves the enjoyment during the act.
This works on the breakthrough high-fem technology and treats urinary incontinence and intimate discomfort.
One session of Emsella can cost you anywhere between 10 to 20,000 rupees per session, depending on where you're getting it done.
You need 6 sessions in total, 2 sessions a week for 3 weeks. After that, you can get maintenance sessions done once in a few months.
Any contraindications for pregnant women, or is it better for pregnant women or pre-pregnancy? If I'm planning a pregnancy, is it better for me to strengthen the pelvic floor area artificially like this?
So I would not recommend it during pregnancy. And again, some people who have internal implants in their vaginal region or in their lower abdomen or the lower in and around the pelvic region, they cannot get it done. Otherwise, anybody can get it done.
Many women silently suffer. As they age, they have disturbed or broken sleep, as they need to wake up multiple times in the night to urinate as a result of weakened pelvic floor muscles. This is a game changer in that aspect, as it strengthens those muscles that are otherwise not possible with just Kegel exercises at the gym. Most are unable to even engage the right muscle while doing the Kegel workouts.
While only certified registered medical practitioners are allowed to give this treatment, it is not a sure shot that erectile dysfunction is treated with Emsella as such. Some doctors do feel it does really help. The US FDA has cleared Emsella for treating urinary incontinence in men and women and improve female sexual wellness. Any other benefit is coincidental and could be related to improvement in the strength of the pelvic floor area.
Doctors swear by Emsella or the Kegel Throne's deep pelvic floor muscle stimulation and restoration of neuromuscular control. There is in-depth penetration and stimulation of the entire pelvic floor area, and this engagement that you feel is when you know it has started working. After 6 sessions, you can feel that the pelvic floor has improved awareness to contract muscles and a regained bladder control. What's more, a better sex life awaits.
My verdict is a big thumbs up. A big thumbs up because it does not have side effects. It is absolutely safe. A big thumbs up because it helps you exercise. It helps you give contractions which a normal exercise cannot do it. It helps you avoid surgery and it helps in sexual wellness. Stay well, that's the only way. The craze around skinny pens and Ozempic is not dying down anytime soon. Why not? Because weight loss is something that most people seem to be obsessed with. There are celebrities who are losing weight quite rapidly because of skinny pens. Now, what is in the offing? A pill form of Ozempic. Doctors are just worried that this pill form should never be confused as a diet pill. Rather, it should be used to treat the disease of obesity with proper prescriptions. There are a lot of worries coming in from healthcare professionals on the back of this development. Here's a look.
The world of weight loss has had a breakthrough with skinny pens. The Ozempic shots meant for the treatment of type 2 diabetes is being used off-label to reduce weight. These shots are hard to obtain but have the ability to help you shed those pounds. The drug was never meant to be used for that purpose in the first place. It gives myriad of side effects to those taking it for weight loss. They include diarrhea, constipation, tummy aches, nausea, vomiting, amongst many others. Many already know this. Now, a pill form of Ozempic is on the horizon. On 25th of June, researchers presented data in 2 studies at the American Diabetes Association Scientific Sessions Conference. One study showed 50 milligrams of semaglutide, the active compound in Ozempic and Wegovy, taken orally each day is roughly as effective as weekly Wegovy shots in reducing weight in people who are overweight or obese. Wegovy injections contain 2.4 milligrams of semaglutide. Wegovy has been approved to treat obesity since 2021. It's the same drug as diabetes medication Ozempic, just at a higher dose. Concerns now loom large on its unintended consequences as more people would seem to prefer pills over the injections for weight loss.
What is important to know is that semaglutide is a good option for people, who have diabetes, who have obesity, or who are overweight and need to lose weight. But it is not a good option for everyone, and it is important that whoever takes this pill, they take it under medical supervision, and then, decide whether they meet the criteria or not.
We have to practice ethical medicine for it to be beneficial for everybody, and keeping in mind the risks and the benefits. So I do think it's a new kid on the block. I do think it'll be successful in the future. We just need some more information for it.
The injectable liquid form of semaglutide is directly shot into the belly with very small needle dispatch at the click of a pen once a week. One can take it with or without food. Oral semaglutide is supposed to be swallowed and not injected. Patients must have an empty stomach when they take it along with water. Doctors are extremely worried. Having a poppable pill available for weight loss could perhaps lead to an abuse of the drug.
This is a drug that at times can increase the risk of thyroid C-cell cancer. It can increase the risk of pancreatitis or inflammation of the pancreas. It can increase the risk of kidney problems. So it's not an option for everyone. It can increase the risk of causing hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, since it is a diabetes drug.
There is some concern about there being an increased risk of medullary thyroid cancer. It's a very rare form of thyroid cancer. They haven't seen this in adults, but they have seen this in mice. In the preclinical phases, they did see an increased risk of this. Has been proven in adults, but we don't have that much information yet from these medications. When I say, I mean long-term data to say if it increases the risk of thyroid cancer or not.
Doctors insist these new drugs should be used to control the disease of obesity and should under no circumstances be perceived as diet pills. In New Delhi, with inputs from Riya Modi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.
Well, that's all that we could pack on this special episode of the Lifestyle Edit Style and Serenity. We'll continue bringing you all the latest from the world of luxury as always. And that's me, Chaiti Narula, signing off as I pour myself a cup of this beautiful herbal infusion. I also want to thank my producers, Vaishnavi Gaharwa, Riya Modi and Nitika Gandhi for working so hard on this show. And I'm going to now relax, unwind for the day with this beautiful tea as I relax in the tea salon nestled in the middle of a hustling and bustling city. And there's a VIP lounge also waiting for me where I will just unwind and relax. Thank you. You take care. Enjoy yourself.
People often donate heart and eyes, but now you can also donate your skin. North India's first skin bank is ready in Delhi's Safdarjung Hospital. Eligible disease donors can donate skin and give someone a new lease of life. Burn victims can immensely benefit from these skin banks for their graft surgeries.
स्किन बैंकिंग में ये खास बात है कि इसमें कोई मैचिंग की जरूरत नहीं है। कोई भी पेशेंट स्किन डोनेट कर सकता है। उस मरीज की उस डिजीज़ की दी हुई स्किन किसी भी दूसरे मरीज में इस्तेमाल हो सकती है। ना कोई ब्लड ग्रुपिंग मैचिंग चाहिए, ना कोई और HLA मैचिंग चाहिए। और जिसमें ये स्किन हमने लगाई है उसको जीवन में कोई स्टेरॉयड और इम्यूनोसप्रेसेंट्स खाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
Safdarjung Hospital authorities are also doing everything they can to make people aware about skin donation. With the help of specialized equipment and proven techniques, donated skin is processed and stored in bank before transplantation.
इतने सारे वार्ड्स हैं जो भी नए डॉक्टर्स ज्वाइन करते हैं, जूनियर रेजिडेंट्स हैं, वो ज्वाइन करते हैं तो उनको सेमिनार्स लेके उनको इन्फॉर्म करके उनको बताया जाएगा। डेथ फॉर्म है, जब हम लोग उसको साइन करते हैं तो उसमें भी हम सोच सकते हैं कि हम उसमें भी ऐड करा दें कि हम आई डोनेशन के लिए विलिंग हैं और स्किन डोनेशन के लिए विलिंग हैं।
As of now, there are 16 skin banks across the country, and here's hoping that this latest center in Delhi opens the doors for many more such skin banks in India. With Neetu Jha, Bureau Report, India Today.
are watching India Today.
महाराष्ट्र की राजनीति में एक बहुत बड़ा नया उलटफेर आया हुआ है, जिसके बाद महाराष्ट्र की राजनीति एक नए सिरे से शायद लिखी जाएगी। लेकिन अभी भी जो राजनीति में हार मानने को तैयार नहीं होते, वो शरद पवार जमीन पर उतरकर लड़ने के लिए तैयार हो रहे हैं। किस तरीके की ये लड़ाई होगी, जिस तरीके से आरोप लगाए गए, उनके बहुत ही नजदीकी माने जाने वाले प्रफुल्ल पटेल हो, अजीत पवार हो, उन्होंने मीटिंग लेकर जिस तरीके से आरोप लगाए, उसके बाद शरद पवार क्या करने जा रहे हैं। आज से उन्होंने महाराष्ट्र की यात्रा जिसकी घोषणा की थी वो करने जा रहे हैं और शुरुआत वो करेंगे छगन भुजबल की कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी येवला से। हमारे साथ में राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस नेशनलिस्ट कांग्रेस पार्टी के अध्यक्ष शरद पवार इस वक्त मौजूद है कि सर आज आप आपकी पहली यात्रा शुरू कर रहे हैं। आपने कराड़ से यात्रा शुरू की थी और अब छगन भुजबल की कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में आपकी पहली सभा होने जा रही है। किस तरीके से आपकी यात्रा होगी, क्या आप लोगों को बताएंगे?
मैं तो यहाँ से निकल रहा हूँ, नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाऊंगा और येवला एक नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट की कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी है। नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट की स्पेशलिटी ये है कि नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक कांग्रेस विचारधारा को समर्थन करने वाला डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। एक जमाने में वहाँ ऑल इंडिया कांग्रेस कमेटी का स्टेशन भी हुआ था। और नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक ऐसा डिस्ट्रिक्ट है जब इंडिया चाइना कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बाद यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री और यहाँ के टॉरिस्ट नेता यशवंतराव चौहान उनको पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में डिफेंस मिनिस्टर के लिए लिया। सब नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट ने उनको अनअपोज पार्लियामेंट में भेजा और इसलिए ये एक अलग डिस्ट्रिक्ट है जहाँ हमारा क्लोज एसोसिएशन इमोशनली है। और एक बार ऐसा ही हुआ कि मेरे नेतृत्व पर हमारी पार्टी लड़ रही थी सब लोगों के खिलाफ, इवन कांग्रेस के खिलाफ। सब नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट ने मुझे सभी चीज सुनकर दी थी और इससे मुझे खुशी होती है कि एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऐसा है कि अच्छा काम के लिए हमेशा समर्थन देता है। और इसमें ये कहीं तो नासिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाना चाहिए, कौन से तो क्षेत्र में जाना चाहिए, इसलिए मैंने ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी का सिलेक्शन किया। ये जो क्षेत्र है येवला, यहाँ उज्ज्वल साहब आजकल है, वहाँ से प्रत्याशी चुनकर आए हुए, मगर उज्ज्वल साहब राजनीति यहाँ नासिक के राजनीति में आने से पहले भी येवला सीट राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी या कांग्रेस जिसका अध्यक्ष मैं था, उन्हें हमें समर्थन येवला के सीट में दिया है और इसके एक ट्रेडिशनल हम लोगों को समर्थन देने वाला ये क्षेत्र है। जब
भुजबल साहब
यहाँ से चुनकर जा नहीं सकते थे, यहाँ इनकी स्थिति फेवरेबल नहीं थी मुंबई में, तब तय किया कि उनको सेफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी कहाँ ले सकते हैं, तो वो सेफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी येवला है।
तो मतलब पार्टी ने उनको येवला कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी दी थी,
उन्होंने भी मांगी थी और पार्टी ने उनको सेफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी दी और वहाँ से वो चुनकर आ गए। आज मैंने शुरुआत इसलिए की कि जब कोई एक समस्या पैदा होती थी पॉलिटिकल राजनीति, तब जो क्षेत्र अच्छे क्षेत्र है हमेशा समर्थन देते हैं, इसमें येवला है, इससे हमने येवला से शुरुआत की।
आज की स्थिति लेकिन अलग हो गई है सर। आज सबसे ज्यादा आप पर अगर कोई अटैक कर रहा है तो वो छगन भुजबल कर रहे हैं। उस दिन भी उन्होंने अपने भाषण में आप पर अटैक करने की शुरुआत छगन भुजबल ने की। उनका ये कहना है कि आपने पार्टी के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ जाकर काम किया है, पार्टी में आपने डेमोक्रेटिक प्रिंसिपल्स को दरकिनार कर दिया, इसके लिए पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष पद से भी आपको उन्होंने हटा दिया, प्रफुल्ल पटेल और इन लोगों ने मीटिंग करके। अब भुजबल साहब ये कह रहे हैं कि जो आपने बोया है वही आपको उसका सामना करना पड़ रहा है। आपने कई बार जो यू टर्न लिए पॉलिटिक्स में, उसकी वजह से ये सारी चीजों का आपको फेस करना पड़ रहा है।
ये यू टर्न इसमें कोई दम नहीं। कोई भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में कोई इश्यूज आते हैं तब डिस्कशन होता है, कलेक्टिव डिस्कशन होता है और डिस्कशन में अलग अलग व्यू रखते हैं, मगर अल्टीमेट फाइनल व्यू कलेक्टिव जो थिंकिंग होता ही होता है। तो अलग अलग व्यू जब आते हैं तब किसी ने कुछ व्यू रखा और कलेक्टिव डिसीजन दूसरा हो गया, इसलिए वो व्यू तो नहीं हो, ये डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस है डिसीजन लेने की। और मेरे लिए हमेशा वही सिस्टम है। मैंने जो कुछ कहते हैं ये लोगों को इतना मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि जितने डिसीजन हो गए ये सब डिसीजन में ये लोग पार्टी थे या नहीं, और इसका एक सिंपल, जैसे आपने कहा कि प्रफुल्ल पटेल साहब का नाम ले लिया कि उन्होंने कहा कि ये इलीगल है, इलीगल है, मेरा इलेक्शन इलीगल है, मेरा इलेक्शन, ये तो मीटिंग हो गई दिल्ली में, दिल्ली के मीटिंग में तालकटोरा में कई हजार लोग थे, इस सब के सामने से इलेक्शन हो गया, अनअपोज हो गया, होने के अच्छा ये खुद जो प्रपोजल था वो प्रपोजल रखने में प्रफुल्ल पटेल खुद थे। इसके बाद नए प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन होने के बाद जो ऑफिस बेरर की बात है उसको अपॉइंट करने का ऑथराइजेशन उसी अधिवेशन में मुझे दे दिया। देने के बाद जिनकी अपॉइंटमेंट की गई ये सब अपॉइंटमेंट प्रफुल्ल पटेल साहब के खत से ये, और इसमें उनका अधिकार थे बाकी लोगों का अपॉइंटमेंट तक,
वो जनरल
सेक्रेटरी के नाते से ये सब जो उन्होंने डिसीजन ले लिए ये क्या अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से किसने किया? आपने ही किया। आपको इधर से जीत के हमने ये बात सच है, मगर तब ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन थी। आज क्या हो गया? ये सब अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऐसा हो गया।
जो दिख रहा है उस दिन के भाषण हमने सुने, उसमें उनका ये कहना था कि बीजेपी के साथ आपने 3 बार बातचीत करने की कोशिश की, 2014 में, 2017 में, आपके कहने पर वो बातचीत करने गए और उसके बाद आपने अचानक डिसीजन बदल लिया, उसकी वजह से लॉस ऑफ
बातचीत करना राजनीति में पॉलिटिकल इश्यूज पर डिस्कशन होता है, करना भी पड़ता है लोगों के कुछ व्यूज पे, और ये डिस्कशन कई बार हुआ, खाली बीजेपी के नहीं कांग्रेस के साथ भी कुछ करना चाहिए, ऐसी डिस्कशन हुआ। अल्टीमेटली फाइनल डिसीजन क्या है? एक फाइनल डिसीजन उसका कभी हुआ नहीं, कांग्रेस के साथ हुआ, बीजेपी के साथ कभी हुआ नहीं। और तीसरी बात इसमें है कि डिस्कशन करना, और जो पार्टी के खिलाफ हमने चुनाव लड़े, आइडियोलॉजिकली हम अलग है, इन लोगों के साथ जाकर इनमें शामिल होना, ये कोई फर्क है या नहीं? ये जो कहते हैं कि हम लोगों ने बातें की, डिस्कशन किया, करते ही है, करना ही चाहिए। राजनीति में पॉलिटिकल डिस्कशन करके डिसीजन लेने की प्रोसेस करनी चाहिए, वही डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस है। मगर पार्टी की लाइन छोड़कर आप दूसरे पार्टी के साथ उनको समर्थन देते हैं, जो पार्टी जिनके खिलाफ आप चुनाव लड़े और जीते, और इससे वो जो कहते हैं ये कहने में कोई दम नहीं है।
अजित पवार कहते हैं कि अगर आप शिवसेना के साथ कर सकते हैं तो बीजेपी के साथ क्या गलत है? अगर शिवसेना के साथ जाने की वजह से आपका सेक्युलरिज्म वैसे ही खत्म हो गया है तो बीजेपी के साथ जाने में क्या है?
फर्क बहुत है कि वे शिवसेना के साथ आज ही गया, ऐसी बात नहीं है। जब इमरजेंसी थी और तब पूरे देश में इंदिरा गांधी कांग्रेस के प्रेसिडेंट थी, इनके खिलाफ माहौल था, तब बाला साहब ठाकरे अकेले राजनीतिक दल के नेता थे, उन्होंने इंदिरा गांधी के या एक्शन को समर्थन दे दिया। खाली समर्थन नहीं दे दिया, समर्थन तो दे दिया, मगर चुनाव आ गया तो इंदिरा जी को मदद करने के लिए बाला साहब ने पूरे स्टेट में एक भी कैंडिडेट खड़ा नहीं किया इनके खिलाफ, और उनको समर्थन दे दिया। और इससे शिवसेना की स्थापना जिनके विचारों से, जिनके नेतृत्व पर हुई, तो बाला साहब ठाकरे ने यह डिसीजन लिया था। और वही आज ऐसी स्थिति आ गई कि कुछ ना कुछ मिलकर काम करने की आवश्यकता है। तो कांग्रेस, बाला साहब ठाकरे की पार्टी, उद्धव ठाकरे की पार्टी और एनसीपी, तीनों ने मिलकर कुछ कदम उठाए, प्रोग्राम तय किया इसमें, और बीजेपी के साथ जाने में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है।
वो कह रहे हैं कि दोनों में एक ही बात इसलिए है क्योंकि सेक्युलरिज्म तो आपने छोड़ दिया, शिवसेना भी हिंदुत्ववादी पार्टी है, बीजेपी भी हिंदुत्ववादी पार्टी है।
होगी मगर बीजेपी में और शिवसेना में बहुत फर्क है, बहुत ही अंतर है।
उनके हिंदुत्ववाद में भी अंतर है, उनके इसमें भी अंतर
है। कहीं हिंदुत्ववाद, ये सब लोगों को गलत रास्ते पर ले जाने का मामला है, दूसरा कुछ नहीं।
दूसरी सर एक बात बहुत अचरज की लगी कि इतने साल के बाद पहली बार अजीत पवार आपके खिलाफ इस तरीके से बोलते हुए नजर आए। उन्होंने सीधे आरोप लगाया कि आप वंशवाद को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं। वो उनके आपके बेटे नहीं है, इसके लिए उनको मौका नहीं मिल पाया। उनमें सारी काबिलियत थी लेकिन मौका उनको नहीं मिल गया। क्या ये एक सक्सेशन वॉर की वजह से हुआ है? क्या उनको वो जो कह रहे हैं उसमें उसके बारे में आपको क्या लगता है?
ये तो मैं इससे ज्यादा कुछ कहना नहीं चाहता। परिवार का जो इश्यू है वो परिवार के बाहर ज्यादा डिस्कस करना मुझे पसंद नहीं। और सिर्फ इतना एक फैक्चुअल पोजिशन दिखाना चाहते हैं कि अजीत जी को शुरू में मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट कुछ डिपार्टमेंट की जिम्मेदारी मिली, इसके बाद मिनिस्टर की मिली, और मुझे याद नहीं वो 3 या 4 बार उनको
डेप्यूटी चीफ
मिनिस्टर का मौका उनको पार्टी ने दे दिया। वो कहते हैं सोफिया के बारे में ये कंपैरिजन देखिए कि एक को 3 या 4 बार डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर, एक बार मिनिस्टर, और दूसरे को एक भी पोजीशन ऐसी नहीं दी कि जो ऑफिशियल है। भारत सरकार में मिनिस्टर बनाने का जब मौका इंस्टीट्यूट को मिला,
यूपीए की सरकार में,
यूपीए इसके पहले, तो इसमें सूर्यकांत पाटिल को मौका दे दिया,
जो आपकी सांसद थी नांदेड़ से,
सांसद थी, तब सुफिया सांसद थी। दूसरे बार जब मौका मिला एनसीपी को, तब हमारे संगमा वन ऑफ द फाउंडर, इनकी लड़की को मौका दे दिया, अगाथा को, तब सुफिया फादर में थी। तो इससे एक बात साबित हुई, अच्छी से बात फफूल पटेल को मौका दे दिया मगर सुफिया को दिया नहीं। फफूल पटेल साहब की बात तो ऐसी है कि उनकी इनसी गवर्नमेंट में when he lost the election,
लोकसभा का चुनाव जब आ रहे थे,
चुनाव हारने के बाद उनको मौका दे दिया था। इसलिए, और ये सभी समय में तब सुफिया नहीं थी, मगर सुफिया बाकी तीनों तरफ में जब थी तब उनको कुछ मौका नहीं दे दिया, बाकी लोगों को मौका दे दिया था।
तो यह आरोप अचानक क्यों लगा रहे हैं? किस वजह से ये पहली बार देखा जा रहा है कि पवार परिवार के अंदर कोई ओपन आरोप लगा रहे हैं?
बात सिर्फ ये है कि इसमें बीजेपी के साथ जाने की बात है। ये सब जो बन रहा है, जो बोल रहे हैं, ये जो कुछ एक्शन ले रहे हैं, इसका गेम प्लान बीजेपी हेडक्वार्टर से तैयार हुआ है। और वो जैसे कहते हैं वैसे हमारे साथी देते, इससे ज्यादा कोई दूसरी बात नहीं है।
वो तो कह रहे हैं कि आपको तो रिटायर हो जाना चाहिए था, 83 साल की, आप रुक जाइए अभी। कितनी बार आपको समझाया गया? सुप्रिया ने आपसे बात की, वो आपने कहा, वो सुप्रिया सुले ने उनको कहा कि देखिए वो तो सुनने को तैयार नहीं है। 83 ईयर्स में भी आप इस तरीके से बाहर निकल रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं, आपको रिटायर हो जाना चाहिए बोल रहे हैं।
काहे के लिए रिटायर? मैं काम कर सकता हूँ, काम करने की उम्मीद है, काम करने की ताकत है, तो क्यों? मैंने तय किया था रिटायर होने का, तब पूरी पार्टी मेरे ऊपर प्रेशर आने के लिए या फिर विद्रोह।
अब 2 तारीख की घटना की बात कर रहे हैं, 2 मई की बात कर रहे हैं।
ये याद नहीं मुझे, मगर पूरी पार्टी जगह जगह पर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, तहसील में रोने लगे लोग। इतना दबाव मेरे ऊपर डाला कि मत छोड़ो, तो मुझे अल्टीमेटली लोगों का कहना एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ा और मैंने काम करना शुरू किया। अभी आज मुझे कोई कहता है कि आप रिटायर हो, तो जब पूरी पार्टी कहती है कि आप काम करो, तो मैं क्यों काम करना शुरू? और लोगों में जाकर लोगों के जो इश्यूज है वो उठाकर इसमें कोई रास्ता निकलने के लिए कोशिश करना है, कोई गलत काम है। ये क्या पोजिशन अथॉरिटी होगी तो पार्टी, मगर ये कोई मिनिस्टर चीफ नहीं है, ये कोई दूसरी ऐसी पोजीशन नहीं है कि जिसे आपको बहुत कुछ अधिकार मिलता है, ये खाली पार्टी की जिम्मेदारी पार्टी संगठन की है। और संगठन में काम करना कोई गलत बात नहीं। आज मेरा एज वगैरह है, ये निकलने की क्या आवश्यकता है, और मेरा एज कितना है और कौन से एज पर मैंने रुकना चाहिए, या और लोगों ने मुझे कहना, ये डिसीजन मेरा हो सकता है।
लेकिन अब आगे क्या होगा? आप अपोजिशन की यूनिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ आपकी पार्टी की यूनिटी खतरे में है। प्रफुल्ल पटेल उस दिन कह रहे थे कि वो 23 तारीख को मीटिंग में गए तो उन्हें हंसी आई जिस तरीके से लोग आपस में लड़ रहे थे। क्या अभी भी ये अपोजिशन यूनिटी पॉसिबल है जिस तरीके से?
हमारी तो कोशिश ये है कि मिलकर काम करने की, आज देश को अल्टरनेटिव देने की, और जो कोई भारतीय जनता पार्टी की हुकूमत है उनको उखाड़ के दूर करने के लिए प्रयास करिए। राजनीति में 100% सक्सेस होती है ऐसी नहीं, कोई जीतता है कोई हारता है, और जो हारता है उसके कोई आइडियोलॉजी हो, प्रोग्राम है, हारे से छोड़ नहीं सकते, कंटिन्यू करना चाहते, और हम मिलकर काम करेंगे। अभी हम 17 या 18 तारीख को बंगलुरु मिल रहे, वहाँ हम फिर डिस्कस करके आगे की नीति तय करेंगे। जब 15-20 पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोग इकट्ठा जमते हैं और कोई इशू पर डिस्कशन होता है, सभी लोगों की राय एक नहीं होती, कुछ ना कुछ अलग भी राय होती है। ये डेमोक्रेसी है, डेमोक्रेसी में अलग राय एक्सप्रेस करना और इससे आगे जाने की कोशिश करना, इसकी आवश्यकता होती है। और ये फतेह साहब ने जो कहा उनको हंसी आ गई, क्योंकि उनको हंसी आ सकती है, क्योंकि ये सब इश्यूज का सीरियसनेस जितना हम लेते हैं इतना बाकी लोगों ने लिया या नहीं मुझे मालूम नहीं, और इससे उनको हंसी आ सकती है।
कैसे रहेगी ये सरकार? जब 3 पार्टी की सरकार बनी थी तब आपको यही लोग कह रहे थे कि 3 पार्टी की सरकार चल नहीं सकती, अब वो खुद 3 पार्टी की सरकार में है। क्या आपको इस सरकार का कोई फ्यूचर लगता है? आपको लगता है कि ये सरकार चल पाएगी? बीजेपी एक ताकतवर पार्टी इस सरकार में शामिल है, क्या ये सरकार इस तरीके से चल पाएगी?
ये सरकार बीजेपी चलेंगी, दूसरे कोई चलेंगे नहीं। अधिकार, नंबर और दिल्ली की गाड़ी आई, तीनों बीजेपी के साथ है, बाकी लोग रहेंगे सरकार में मिनी से तक खुशी में, बाकी दूसरा कुछ नहीं। जहाँ तक महाराष्ट्र की बात है, कोई भी सरकार हो, महाराष्ट्र में मुझे स्टेबिलिटी चाहिए, तो ये तीनों का सरकार बन गया तो वो स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट दे दो, महाराष्ट्र की डेवलपमेंट के बारे में सोचो, मैं बाकी दूसरी बात मुझे उन्हें आती भी नहीं।
आखिर में सर, आगे आप पार्टी किस तरीके से बिल्ड करेंगे, किस तरीके से आप आगे जाएंगे? क्या इलेक्शन कमीशन से आपको कोई उम्मीद है? जिस तरीके से आपने शिवसेना के मामले में देखा कि पार्टी का नाम और सिंबल लिया गया, आगे आप किस तरीके से जाएंगे?
नहीं, इलेक्शन कमीशन वगैरह इसमें कहाँ तक उनकी मदद होगी मुझे मालूम नहीं, और मैं ठीक है कुछ प्रोसीजर करना पड़ता है तो वो करेंगे, पर मेरे पर्सनली नई जो पीढ़ी हजारों की संख्या में जगह जगह पर तैयार होती है, इन लोगों को साथ लेकर पार्टी मजबूत करना ये मेरा फर्ज रहेगा, और मैं यही काम करूंगा, दूसरा कुछ काम नहीं करूंगा।
आपके लिए बहुत बड़ा झटका ये, आपके बहुत नजदीकी। उस दिन प्रफुल्ल पटेल कह रहे थे कि वो आपका साया थे। अजीत पवार आपके साथ में राजनीति में, उन्होंने आपके सचमुच में अगर किसी ने उंगली पकड़कर राजनीति में कदम रखा है तो वो अजीत पवार ने रखा हुआ है। क्या आपके लिए बहुत बड़ा झटका था पर्सनल लेवल पे कि आपके सबसे नजदीकी?
पर्सनल लेवल बिल्कुल नहीं, क्योंकि ऐसी स्थिति मैंने 1, 2, 3 बार देखी है, सहन की है, रास्ता निकालना है। ये बात सच है कि नजदीक के लोग जिनके चुनाव के लिए हम सब लोगों ने मेहनत की, महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने ताकत दे दी, इन लोगों को नजरअंदाज करके कुछ गलत रास्ते पर जाने का काम उन्होंने किया, इसका मुझे दुख है। बाकी मैं चिंतित नहीं हूँ, इससे आगे जाकर पार्टी कैसी खड़ी करना ये नक्शा मेरे दिमाग में खुला है, और मैं काम करना शुरू करूँगा। इन किसी के खिलाफ बोलूँगा नहीं, सिर्फ नई लीडरशिप कैसी तैयार होगी ये देखूँगा।
सर बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने हमसे बात की। आज इस एज में आप जिस तरीके से बाहर निकलकर प्रचार कर रहे हैं, हो सकता है कि आपको नई पार्टी बनाने का मौका भी उसमें मिले। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आपने हमसे बात की।
आप कहते हैं अच्छी बात है। एक बात आपके सर, एक सेंटेंस के बारे में मैं नाराज हुआ उससे।
जी सर।
क्या आप बोलते हैं कि इस एज में, इस एज यानी क्या? ये क्या एज है? कोई 80 वर्ष की मोरारजी भाई देसाई कितने से कौन से उम्र में देश के प्रधानमंत्री बनने थे, याद है? हाँ, मैं तो प्रधानमंत्री बनना नहीं चाहता, मैं कोई मिनिस्ट्री की फोर्स बनना नहीं चाहता, मुझे खाली संगठन में काम करना है। तो कहाँ एज आएगा?
वाजपेयी कहते थे टायर हूं ना रिटायर, न टायर्ड हूं ना रिटायर्ड,
न टायर हूँ न रिटायर।
आप वही कह रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, टायर नहीं, रिटायर नहीं, मेहनत करिए, नई लीडरशिप महाराष्ट्र की जनता की सेवा करने के लिए तैयार करेंगे।
सर बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, बहुत बहुत
थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर।
You are watching India Today.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mode.
India's Silicon Valley and Karnataka's capital Bengaluru is a crumbling mess. The IT city is plagued by traffic jams, frequent waterlogging, potholed roads. The list of woes is long and has been begging attention for years now. But Karnataka's politicians have bigger concerns to address, like how to get through a highway toll plaza in comfort. Assembly Speaker UT Khadir on Thursday suggested that the National Highways Authority of India should create a VIP lane for MLAs and former MLAs.
Seniors ex-MLA told in the NHA guidelines policy, where they have got already an emergency and representative lane is there. In that MLAs and other names are specified. Ex-MLAs are not specified. We are also respect and dignified and and aged also. So for us also, you should consider the request.
Demand for a VIP lane for MLAs and former MLAs came after Congress MLA PM Narendra Swamy claimed harassment at a toll plaza.
Pass is issued. It is not for everyone. Pass is issued to the elected representatives only. When the treatment of those toll guys are like this, can you ask us to behave gently with them? Naren Swamy khud ko le.
The Speaker's demand for a separate lane triggered sharp reactions. The BJP pointed out that a VIP lane for lawmakers already exists.
Already there is a VIP lane. Already there is a VIP line. We should be allowed in that VIP lane is important. Probably in this direction, the ambulance and the VIP line has been already created. So only thing is, we have to be included, has to be looked into it. Probably let us see what Honorable Speaker has been suggesting.
BJP MP Tejasvi Surya called the Congress elitist for seeking a VIP lane. Karnataka PWD minister has denied any plan to add more VIP lanes.
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ನ ಕೇಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ನೇಮಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವ್ದು ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಯಾವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
The Karnataka Speaker's demand for separate lane for MLAs at toll plazas has reignited the debate on the VVIP racism that pervades the system. Bureau Report, India Today.
You are watching India Today.
When we talk about innovation in the tech world, smartphones, consumer tech, a lot of people say innovation has stalled. And then every now and then, we have a disruptor that comes in and genuinely innovates. That company happens to be Nothing. Literally, that's the company's name. And the man behind Nothing, an absolute genius, entrepreneur, the man, the myth, the legend, Carl Pei is with me on Tech Today. Carl, what a pleasure to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
Carl, welcome to India, first of all. And we're going to get into some Indian flavors very shortly. But before we do, you've been here over the years with several brands. Now, when you set up Nothing, and with this upcoming launch, the Phone 2, what does it feel like being here in India?
It feels great. I was thinking the other day that it almost feels like another home. You know, the first time I visited, it was such a foreign place, but I've come here so much over the years. I actually, when we first set up the previous company here, I lived in Bangalore for a month.
Really?
So I've been here so much that it almost feels like home. I know what to order in the restaurants. I know which restaurants to go to, which hotels to stay at. Feels good.
All right, so we brought you to a particular hotel because we believe in Atithi Devo Bhava in India and we value our guests. And the best way to value a guest is to get you a good meal. So we're going to get you one of the best meals here in capital city, New Delhi. You're going to tell us about your India visit, what's happening with Nothing Phone 2, how you're building on an ecosystem, and also talk about your journey because you have quite a fan base here in India. Carl is quite the rock star amongst us tech enthusiasts and lifestyle brands as well. He's got a fashion statement that he's going to talk about very shortly with us. But Carl, tell me one quick thing before we enter our lunch meal. And this is a very important question. The question happens to be, do you like Indian food?
I love it.
Awesome. We're going to get inside and continue this conversation on Tech Today.
Let's go.
After you. Karl, I told you, just like the Nothing Phone 2 launch, we want to make this big. So this is our welcome to you in India. We're here, of course, at the iconic Bukhara restaurant in ITC in New Delhi. And I thought we'll get a quick bite. This is a little elaborate, isn't it?
I don't know where to start.
So what we'll do is, let's continue eating and talking a little bit about the first thing that we mentioned at the start of the show, which is about innovation, especially in the smartphone consumer tech world. Do you really think it has stalled? And when you see all these foldables and whatnot coming up, do you still think that this is incremental innovation and not monumental?
I definitely think so. I mean, when I was younger, I used to stay up to watch the keynotes from all the tech companies. Like every generation felt so much better than the previous one. Like the steps were not incremental, they were almost exponential. And it wasn't just the hardware, it wasn't just smartphones, it was the iPod, it was the iPad, the tablets came out. But also on the consumer internet and software side, all of a sudden we had a lot of like new social apps to use. And it was also the time of the App Store revolution. So a lot of apps you could download and try every day. So it just felt like at that moment in time, 10, 15 years ago, that things were just improving really quickly. And then in the last couple of years, say 5 years or so, it's gotten very incremental. Every year, let's make the camera slightly better, a little bit bigger, battery a little bit better, tweak the icons a little bit. Sure, there's a foldables thing now, but I think ultimately it's a bit in the news, but ultimately it's going to be a very niche product. It's good that some people are building it, but if you look at how the foldables are evolving, they're all the same again.
That's true.
All the foldables look very similar. If you don't see the logo anymore, you hide the logo on the foldables, I don't think a consumer can really tell them apart.
So it's safe to say that nothing isn't launching a foldable anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. I don't think it's like, I don't think consumers walk around saying, hey, I wish my phone could fold. I think it's an innovation that the manufacturers are pushing onto the consumer.
It's interesting you mentioned that you stayed up for so many keynotes. I still do that because that's...
You still do that?
I have to do that. Unfortunately, I run a tech show and a team that's very enthusiastic about it, but we're also very excited about your keynote that's coming up with the Phone 2. And coming to the Phone 2, Karl, when you launched the Phone 1, it was a mixed bag of reviews. Now you have the Phone 2 coming. We have a few details about it. Well, some of us have been using it as well, but I can't reveal too much. What I can say is Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, a good battery, and there's a huge focus on the cameras. You said, well, cameras are getting slightly better, but when we compare it to the Phone 1, I think there is a monumental change. But I want to understand the rationale for you to go with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip instead of the Gen 2, because you're a marketing genius, but in consumer tech, everyone says flagship, top of the line, top dollar with the flagship chips. You've taken a conscious decision. Why so?
I think this might get a little bit philosophical, but I think as a tech company, what are you actually here for? I think you gotta either enable consumers or users to do what they couldn't do before, or you enable them to do it faster than before, or more cheap than before. Like you just really gotta push things forward as a tech company. But I think a lot of companies that make smartphones, they're just buying all the components from the supply chain around them and then integrating them. What's the value that they're creating? If they don't have a unique point of view on where to take technology and just buy the latest components, that's not a real business. I don't think it's a real company. So for us, it's about picking the right type of ingredients to make the overall package really good. You might say that we don't have the latest, highest spec processor. We still have a really capable one in the 8 Gen 1 Plus from Snapdragon. Just like when we cook a meal, we don't throw all the ingredients onto the table or into the pot. We pick the best combination of stuff. So, on the Phone 1, we used a 7 series processor, like even lower spec processor. It was really controversial at that time. How can you launch a new phone? The processor is old, it's not the 8 series. But actually, we made it perform better than a lot of phones with the 8 series because it's not just about the hardware. A lot of it is about the tuning of the software and how you really make use of the hardware. So I think people got to look at the whole picture and not just at one spec.
Make tech fun again. Now that's something that's germane to all of us on Tech Today. When we launched this show, we said that there's so much clutter even in the tech content space over here. And to really be iconoclastic, what we want to do is make tech content credible again. Now, that was our plank. I like the fact that, did you take that from me, Carl?
I don't believe so.
I'm messing with you. But making tech fun again, that's something we've been waiting for while you do savor the dal as well. And the dal makhani is quite an iconic dish, something we wait for days to have when we're at home.
Oh,
so
really?
It's good to welcome you with
Let's
that.
try it.
But what I was trying to say, Carl, is that making tech fun again, has that been an incredible challenge for you, especially? You were obviously working at OnePlus. You made it perhaps one of the most aspirational rivals to Apple, and in terms of what they've done with an iPhone. You build a community, you build that trust, you walk away one day, you head to London, you have investors all across Europe, and then you set up nothing. Was that honestly a challenge, given the fact that you did this, one, in the pandemic, two, with a lot of baggage from the amazing work you've done from before, but here it could obviously affect you differently. And then the fact that you need to innovate in a space where suppliers, investors, no one really sees light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, but I think I've done a bit in my past life, but it got to a point where I couldn't fully realize the ideas that I had. So I had to do something on my own. So it was a lot of pressure in the beginning. You know, when we got the first investors to wire us the money, it felt like a huge burden. Oh, now we're responsible for somebody else's money.
Yeah.
What if we mess it up? I remember my parents wanted to invest. And I told them, no, you can't, because I already feel so much pressure from everybody else investing. I don't want to have the opportunity to disappoint my family.
Wow.
So also when people started joining us, it was really an immense pressure, because now their careers were in our hands. If we mess it up, then we kind of make their careers a little bit worse. So a lot of pressure in the beginning, but I think over time, as we've built the company, launched our products, sold a lot of units, things are getting a bit better. We're getting the hang of things, but making tech fun again is very hard in the tech industry, because if you look around, there's not a lot of unique technology. Everybody is just integrating already existing technology onto the products. I think to really make tech fun again, we need to invent something new. We need to invent new technologies and new ways of interacting with the product. If you look at Apple, they started off as a computer company, but it was the iPod that really made them a mass consumer brand. So I think we're still a very young company, so we need to pick our battles. There's only so much we can do, but when the right time comes, we really need to invent something different and new.
You know what's interesting about making tech fun again is, and I have to allude to this, the incredible community you built at OnePlus. I myself was a OnePlus user for the longest time, all right? Full disclosure. But over time, Oxygen OS was the closest to stock Android experience that we expected. On our shows, we spoke about it so much. But ever since you left, somehow it's gone the Oppo way, is what a lot of community members think, right? It's a lot more like Color OS, and some of the things that worked for it earlier aren't necessarily working for it now. When you look at Nothing OS, it's a very fresh take on what Android can be, on what an operating system can be. Is that something, firstly, I want to understand what your thoughts are on how Oxygen OS has evolved ever since you moved on to bigger things, and then how you view Nothing OS in light of that change.
I haven't been paying a lot of attention to Oxygen OS, but from the comments I read online, people